Florida State Rep. Randy Fine was once Gov. Ron DeSantis Jewish outreach chairman. He supported the governor's legislative priorities, and he endorsed her for the Republican presidential nomination. But on Tuesday, Fine, only GOP Jewish lawmaker Statehouse, announced he was switching his support to former President Donald Trump, accusing DeSantis of not doing enough to combat antisemitism in Florida wake of Israel-Hamas war. Fine argued that Trump could better serve Florida's Jewish community, and said the last straw in her concerns came when DeSantis did not respond to a letter asking him to address anti-Israel protests on college campuses since the October 7 attack by Hamas. Fine, who wrote about his rationale for supporting Trump, The Washington Times, told The Washington Post that he had other meetings Jewish leaders in Florida who felt dissatisfied with DeSantis following recent events white supremacist groups targeting Jewish people. Florida. The Nazis are very disturbing and unsettling, Fine said, but they're not as threatening as Hamas. And so things have taken a whole new level of seriousness since October 7. Fine also highlighted Trump's decision to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, claiming he has done more for Israel than previous presidents. Trump faced widespread criticism from Democrats, Republicans, including DeSantis, Sen. Tim Scott and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, after he referred to Hezbollah militants as very smart, criticized Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. But Fine said Trump's comments were misinterpreted for political gain and should not be taken as praising the militant group. You English, Spanish, you French, and then Trump, he said. You should understand what you mean. Asked about Fine's endorsement, DeSantis told reporters in New Hampshire on Tuesday that it was pure politics and total nonsense, and attributed Fine's decision to his ambitions to run for the state Senate after he was not selected as a finalist for Florida's presidency. DeSantis campaign spokesman Bryan Griffin called Fine's announcement nothing more than shameful political theater at a time when Ron DeSantis is taking responsibility for supporting Israel. DeSantis' outspoken support for the feud with Disney also earned him a prominent place in Disney's lawsuit against the state. The company claims the state violated its First Amendment rights, and their lawsuit quotes Fine as saying on the House floor, "You've convinced me of one thing. This bill targets a single company. It targets the Walt Disney Company." Fine was an early supporter of DeSantis during his first gubernatorial race and remained closely aligned with him until this week. She represents Brevard County, home to the Kennedy Space Center and the birthplace of Moms for Liberty. The move shocked some in Tallahassee political circles who knew Fine as an ardent DeSantis supporter. "I really can't believe it," said a fellow Republican state representative who spoke